ते गार्हपत्याय नमस्ते दक्षिणाग्नये नम आहवनीयाय महावेद्यै नमो नमः। ब्रह्मणे गार्हपत्याय विष्णवे दक्षिणाग्नये शिवायाहवनीयाय शक्त्यै वेद्यै नमो नमः। काण्डद्वयोपपाद्याय कर्म ब्रह्मस्वरूपिणे स्वर्गापवर्गरूपाय यज्ञेशाय नमो नमः। यज्ञेशाच्युत गोविन्द माधवानन्तकेशव कृष्णविष्णो हृषीकेश वासुदेव नमोऽस्तु ते। Shri Yajneshwaraya Namaha. In this world, we all living beings are constantly performing some kind of activity, whether it may be constructing a big monument or just walking. Everything is considered as an activity, but in reality, these activities are actually considered as offerings to the Supreme. So the Vedas, the Puranas, and our ancestors have stated that any activity, which is of course the offering to the Supreme, is called a yajna. So yajna would mean any activity that is performed as an offering to the Supreme. So for example, even the simplest of activities would mean yajna. For example, drinking water, partaking food is actually called pranagnihotram. It is a type of yajna. But in general, the word yajna would have a more special and specific meaning, which would mean pleasing the demigods. The Vedas have continuously taught us that we have to please the Devas for our well-being. Now arises a question, what are the Devas doing to us for which we have to please them? So the Vedas answer this question. The providers of the most important source of water, that is rain, are the demigods. So the demigods would provide us rain, by which our crops may flourish and grow, and then they would be harvested properly, and then they would be converted into the stage what we call as food, and then we may live with prosperity. So for all this to happen, we primarily need rain. Rain is the most important source of water. Without rain, survival on earth is actually very hard, it's very difficult or impossible. So the most vital source of water, that is rainwater, is being provided by the Devas or the demigods. So as a token of gratitude, it is mandatory that we have to thank them in a certain way, that is called yajna. So the way of thanks is actually expressed through the yajnas. So it becomes a barter system where Indra and the demigods would pour us rain, and we in return, as a token of gratitude, would perform yajnas to please them. This age-old system was not created by man, but it was directly prescribed by the Vedas itself. And it's a fact that our ancestors have been performing yajnas from almost time immemorial. And a large part of the Vedas are only speaking about the performance of yajna. At one place it says, Yajno hi shreshtatamam karma, which means out of all the activities that can be performed by man, the topmost one is nothing but yajna. So such is the greatness of yajna. In the Vedas at one place it says, Yajno gandharvastasya dakshina apsarasaha, which means if yajna was compared to be a god, then the goddess would be dakshina or the offering. So we can easily conclude that dakshina or the offering that is connected to the yajna is as important as yajna itself. In another place, the Vedas say, Dhanam yajna nam varuthan dakshina. In our lives, we are performing so many dhanams at different intervals of time. It may be of any scale. For example, we may even feed a poor beggar. We may help him with money. Any type. But the Vedas have classified each kind of dhanam and has also released that the topmost dhanam that can be performed by man is the dhanam that is connected with the yajna. Importance and greatness of the dhanam that is connected with yajna. But the human mind cannot be propelled so easily into doing such great activities. There is a famous proverb in Sanskrit, chanchala hi shrihi. Just as the mind cannot sit in one place, in the same manner, wealth will not be in one place. It will always be constantly moving from hand to hand. And another great poet called Bhartrhari states, Dhanam bhogo nashas tisro gatayo vittasya. He states, wealth has three activities. First is dhanam, second is bhogaha, third is nashaha. So the first activity is dhanam. So for instance, there is a rich man, he has a good heart. So his intention is, he wants to live happily, and at the same time, he wants everyone around him to be happy. So he goes forward and he helps everyone so that he and everyone must be happy. The second activity is bhogaha. So this time, the rich man has a selfish or a bad heart. So, all the money that he has earned, he would only spend it on himself. He would not shell out a single penny to anyone else. So this is the second activity, bhogaha. The third is nashaha. The rich man with no heart. He has no desire of spending money on himself or even giving out money to anyone else. So the money, as time flies away, it may perish, or it may be robbed, or by any means it may attain its end. So these are the three activities of wealth. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it says follows, Tair datta na pradayebhyo yo bhunkte na eva saha, which means a person who has accumulated immense money and does not even perform any kind of dhanam, and instead he solely enjoys all the money that he has accumulated. So such a person is called a thief, so says Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. And then one must never reject or say no to perform any dhanam, because there is a famous shloka, Aksharadvayam abhyastam nasti nasti ti yatpura tadidam dehi dehi ti viparitam upasthitam. Today, we see many people who are asking us, please give me something, dehi, dehi. But the Shastras say that there is a significant reason for this. They say that in their previous births, they were actually rich people, and whenever they were asked for money, they would always refuse and say, no, I don't have. They would lie to them. And so as a result of their karma, their bad karma, which is called papa, in this birth, they've been made in a way that they'll have to ask people to get their things done. At any cost, one must never reject or say no to perform a dana. And lastly, Indra somam pibathu kshemo asthunaha. This means, let Indra partake soma, and because of that, let us all become happy. So, if we all have to be happy and fulfilled in our lives, Indra has to partake soma. For Indra to partake soma, we have to perform the soma yaga. So in the soma yaga, there is this soma, which is a creeper, a special creeper, which is grinded and crushed into a juice, and it is being offered to all the demigods, including Indra. Indra will be immensely pleased, and he will always favor us with his blessings. So that is which means Indra somam pibathu kshemo asthunaha. So, as a collective effort, let us all join our hands to perform this soma yaga, which will immensely please the devas, and in return, the whole world will be benefited. And so, let us seek the perennial blessings of Yajneshwara. Mangalani bhavantu.